Anyone else as nervous as I am?
All right. Hi, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Because I can't hear you.
Absolutely, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, hi.
Yes, everybody. It's my issue.
Hi.
All right. So now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Very good. Perfect. Let's wait another 2 minutes until everybody is here. We have 50 people joining right now, but let's give them 1 or 2 additional minutes so that we're sure that we have everybody.
Sounds good.
You have the stars and the world in the background. I don't know, I see.
I think it's this kind of.
Let's wait
Wait. I think it's that kind of day.
Until everybody is here.
Yeah, not unusual for Elena. She's already beaten Elon Musk into space. So.
Sorry, I just refreshed the YouTube because we're also live, and I just heard Yosha from the past talking to us, waiting for 5 minutes. So, yeah, we are live on YouTube.
Yes, we are live, but a bit 5 minutes behind always, right?
Yeah, a little bit behind. Yes. The speed of the internet. Yes, I'm in space for that reason.
Katharina says potato, potato.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's that time again.
Okay. But I want to see Katarina's aerial background, to be honest.
Cool, can do that.
That's the one that I want to see. Yes! How's everybody?
Really good.
Excited. It's happening. Yeah.
Yes. Now it's the final hour for where everybody's waiting for.
Exactly. Hello, Bart.
I'm still waking up.
Great. Okay. All right.
All right. I'm just figuring out all my.
We can see a Zoom link.
Who's sharing his screen right now?
Sorry, I was just trying to see if that would work. I've never used Zoom before this.
Ah, okay.
It's gone now, right?
So
it's
now
going well. We can see your screen.
We see
it's
82 tabs.
Anymore, right?
Exactly. We see all the tabs.
Yeah, you're still sharing, Tommy.
Why does it give me an option to resume share if I'm still sharing?
On the top, when you go on the top, there's this green thing. Ah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, this has been mostly application-a-thon for me. Discord, Slack, Zoom,
Eternity.
Mentornity, what's Stormboard or whatever it's called. Sparkboard.
Sparkboard, Spark Notes.
Board. That could be a good name to rename Sparkboard. Stormboard.
I think Stormboard's actually a different thing. It's like an application that kind of simulates using Post-it notes and putting them all over things.
So it's like a design thinking tool, virtual design thinking tool.
Yeah.
Well, that could be used for the next hackathon. There you go. You gave us
Yeah,
ideas for another tool.
there needs to be another one. After, they need another application in the.
Isn't that just called Trello?
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never used Trello.
Trello.
I know.
All right, we're 60 people now. Should we wait another minute? No, I think we should be good, right? All right, perfect. Then a warm welcome to our final pitches and the final day of our now 3 days hackathon happening the last 3 days. We're very happy to have all of you here. Altogether, we had more than 150 participants. Some of them dropped out because they couldn't find a team, but we are more than happy to have the other ones still here. And the teams have been working very, very hard on their solutions within the last 3 days. We started on Friday at 5 o'clock with our pitch, with our intro session. Then the teams or individual people pitched their ideas that they had, formed teams out of it within the hour afterwards or 2 hours afterwards. And we then had the pleasure to support them throughout the last 2.5 days, developing their ideas. We are super grateful that we have people from all over the world in this call. Some of them will join a bit later because in Toronto it is still night, so they will be the last pitching. So they are just getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning at their time to pitch their idea. But we are super happy to have people from all over the world here in this call today. Just a quick reminder, or saying something about the background of this hackathon. 2 weeks ago, we already organized a hackathon together with Data Natives that are our co-organizers this weekend again. And within that hackathon, we've seen amazing developments, and we were super happy to see that people are also able to work together remotely, and not only like we always do it in a sorry, I have to mute somebody. Not only as we usually do it in a live event where people sit together and interact together, but also working together in these special times now over the internet. And from what we've seen in the last hackathon, and also this hackathon was the same again, it worked very, very well. Also teams that didn't know each other from the beginning suddenly worked together in a team, formed their team, interacted, used all the tools that they had, that we provided them, but also what they know from their work, use these tools to form teams and build solutions that we will now see, or later in a couple of minutes see what came out of it. We are very, very happy to be here. But before we begin with the pitches, I want to mention 2 or 3 names and people, companies that really helped us very much to get to this point. And we are always very grateful, especially from Hacking Health side, as we are a non-profit organization. We are always very grateful to all corporations that we can form and that we have in the healthcare scene. So first of all, I want to thank the Charité and the BIH that not only supported us for this hackathon, but always been our main partner for the last hackathons and also additional events that we've always done with the Charité and the BIH together. So thank you very much for this support this year again, or this time again. Special thanks goes to Valerie Kirchberger and Sascha Lieber, who has been an amazing support for us in the beginning to get together, to spread the word within the Charité, to get the people together, to give us some contacts within the Charité that we can reach out and build a good cooperation too. So thanks a lot for that. Additionally, I also want to mention the Diabetes Center in Bern. We've been working for this hackathon the first time. I'm very, very happy to have you guys as well on the side. I also saw that we had some mentors from Bern joining in and supporting the teams. So thanks a lot for this cooperation as well. Of course, Paul Hartmann as one of our sponsors and cooperation partners as well. Paul Hartmann pitched the second idea and also their projects that they are running inside of Paul Hartmann. So thanks a lot for this cooperation and the sponsorship as well. And last but not least, I want to mention Vision Health Pioneers and data natives, especially data natives also for our second hackathon together. I think it was an amazing experience with you guys together, and it's always fun to work with you together. So we should keep this spirit up and keep working in these formats and also other events, especially in healthcare, to push the digitalization in healthcare and innovation in healthcare forward. Yes, I think that's it from my side. I just wanted to mention that, and of course, not to forget that. Last thing, I want to thank also all the mentors that joined in the last days. If it is Marianne Lesche who supported with pitch sessions, or all the mentors that took the time, spoke to the teams. We got incredible good feedback from the teams. They all said the mentoring sessions were so good for them. They really enjoyed it. They had a lot of fun with them, and they got a lot of insights that helped them, which just gives us again the impression that we need to build up a communication channel more here in Berlin and also in the healthcare scene, that we can exchange ideas, that we get information from other people. So I think that's a very good thing that we took out of this hackathon here. So thanks a lot to all the mentors as well. I don't want to lead through this whole evening today because I've been speaking the whole 3 days, I think a lot. I want to give over the mic to Stuart, who will lead us through the entire, I don't want to, no, it's not evening, it's the entire pitch day today. So Stuart, go ahead and take the mic, and the stage is yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joshua. It's great to see everyone here. It's great to see a room full of such awesome people. You've been doing amazing work over the weekend, so congratulations to everyone for that. We're going into the exciting bit. Now, just as a reminder, For the pitches, you'll have 3 minutes to pitch. And yes, I will be brutal on the 3 minutes. Imagine me with a digital version of one of those hooks where I just put it around your neck and yank you off the stage. That's a little bit like what it's going to be like. Except we have the digital version of that. I've actually got a red button here and you disappear through your floor. We had those all installed before we started the hackathon. So we have that as an option. And then afterwards, the judges will have 2 minutes to ask you questions, just so we can get clarification on a number of different things. They're going to be looking at how solution is the innovation, the impact, the applicability, feasibility, and execution. So with all of that, so let's make sure you add all into yours. Our judges are Felix Balzer, anesthesiologist and computer scientist at Charité. Sylvia Thun, head of e-health and interoperability at Berlin Institute of Health. Brad Feening, senior doctor in hygiene at Charité. Anina, general manager, Digital Health Connector. Valerie Kirschberger, consultant to director, head of at Charity. Balzer, founder of Hippo.ai Foundation and Digital Health Academy. Danush Mahmoodi, managing director at Designit. Senadin Almehodic, who is CIO at Paul Hartman. Lucas Frosch, who is managing director at Diabetes Center Bern. And Katharina Brauner, coach HackingHealth Berlin, medical doctor in pediatric charity and patient representative. Some of those just basically to get ourselves started. So let me just explain. When I introduce you, we will want you, if you're going to share with us something, to share your screen. And then I'll let you know once we see the screen. And once we see the screen, I will tell you that your time has started. You'll then have that 3 minutes. At the end of your 3 minutes, we'll ask you questions. You leave your screen up at that point, but once at the end of the 2 minutes of questions, please don't forget to stop sharing your screen. And please don't forget to mute yourself straight after again once you're away and once you've done. So remember, come on, share your screen if necessary, do your 3 minutes pitch, take 2 minutes of questions, unshare your screen, mute all. So please go ahead and do that. You'll find it in the participants menu. So please, please, please make sure you are muted because it's going to really improve the audio quality for everybody here. Okay. So we'd love to have joining us from Corona Health. It is David Lewis. David, are you there?
Sorry, this is Elise from Hacking Health. We seem to be having trouble with getting our YouTube link up on LinkedIn. Can we just wait like 2 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry about that.
Of course.
It seems like the Facebook Live link is going, I believe, but the YouTube one is not running. So,
do you need any help with that? I know the Data Natives YouTube is on already.
it's on.
Yeah, the Data Natives YouTube one is on. Yes. So yours probably is on too.
Ours is saying waiting for Hacking Health Germany. So
okay.
Apparently there's 2 streams running at the same time and one is working and one is not.
Okay. All right, let me check on that and then and I'll connect with you, okay? All right, I'll check with James. Thanks.
You see, it's 2020 and we still can't make technology work.
yeah, sorry about that, guys.
I just need some information from James how to get to the studio there.
Are you talking with Yosha now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Sorry, I just need to go to the studio. I don't know how to get on the channel to the studio.
Everybody's being immensely patient. It's our first proper online hackathon, so there's always kinks. And thank you everybody for just being patient and being there.
Just 1 second, please. I'm very sorry, guys. This is my fault.
Perhaps Stuart, since we're waiting, we had a bit of a trouble with the audio and the. Would you like maybe repeating some of the stuff that you mentioned at the beginning?
Yeah, and just as a reminder to everybody, if you don't have a need to, switch off your video as well, because that will just like bandwidth. Zoom, bless it, has seen something like a 2% increase in usage since the coronavirus started to force us all to work from home. So their servers are groaning at the moment. So anything you can do to save bandwidth is going to make a big difference to everybody and increase the quality of the call. So yeah, we're going to get started real soon once we figure out the stream. So just as a reminder.
Sorry, that was my fault. I missed it.
All right, Yosha. So just as a reminder, we're going to call up the teams one at a time. And when we call them up, if you're the team leader or the speaker, please share your screen if necessary. And then as soon as we see your screen, I'm going to start your 3-minute timer. I'll tell you about that.
We have a double.
I do. Just as a reminder, we're going to call up the teams one at a time. And when we call them up, if you're the team lead speaker, please share your screen.
Do you have your?
And then
Yosha, you need to mute YouTube. I think that comes from YouTube. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's because it's coming through both at the same time on your side, Yosha. So when you're unmuted, it's going to do the repeat. All right, so one more time. We'll call you up. You'll share your screen. I'll start the 3-minute timer. I'll give you a 30-second countdown. I'll just drop in and say 30 seconds just so you know when you're close to the end. And then I will make sure that you stop at the 3 minutes. And then the judges have 2 minutes to ask you questions. And then we'll ask you to make sure you unshare your screen. And we'll ask you to mute your audio once again. And then we'll bring up the next person. And that's how we go through the entire session. So are we ready, Yosha, to get started?
James told me that it's working, Yosha. So it should be working now for Hacking Health as well.
Are we all good to go?
I think he might have muted everything, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Let's get started.
It's working. Yeah, it's working.
Perfect. All right. Let's get started. So first up from Corona Health, David Lewis. David, are you there? Do we have David from Corona Health? Okay, I'll come back to David. Do we have David Grund? David Grund, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Excellent. David Grund. It's good to see you, sir. If you need to share your screen, please go ahead and do that now.
Yes, please. One moment. Okay, can you see my screen?
It's just starting up. All right, it's there now. Your 3 minutes, David, starts right now.
So we're in a situation that's having us all stay at home, which has resulted in an exponential increase of our digital habits. We're using social media more. We're using media streaming services like YouTube, Netflix, and the like, and also virtual communication tools like Zoom, WebEx, and the like, while we're also trying to stay socially connected with others while physically distancing. All of this has a direct impact on everyone's mental health and well-being, emotional well-being, but in ways we aren't currently able to measure accurately. The challenge we face and the questions that we asked ourselves since we have these digital habits and they affect us each individually and uniquely, we ask these questions: how do we increase our awareness on the correlation between our habits and the digital habits and the mental health and emotional well-being. How do we educate ourselves about the potential impact of our digital habits? How can we check on the impact of our current digital habits? What can we do if we need immediate assistance? And where can we get more information to help manage the impact of these digital habits? What we did is we came into the hackathon with an already preconceived idea. During the first day, we had to extensively research the impact of digital habits, and what we found that there were no conclusive findings, and even some contradictions. So we shifted from creating a minimal viable product, a demo, to the creation of the key elements of a revised solutions, and we came up with a new MVP. What we decided we will do is create a website with the goal to educate about the potential impact of digital habits, increase awareness about the importance of knowing the influences digital habits can have on mental health and emotional well-being, enable people to instantly check the impact of their current digital habits, inform about resources to manage digital habits, provide connection to professionals for immediate assistance, and offer a service in the future to continuously monitor individual digital habits and provide actionable insights. I'm David. This is our team. I'm the team leader, chief patient, and I'm responsible for strategy and innovation. We also have help from mentors. What we need now is partners for research, further research on the correlation between digital habits and mental health. Business model development, we have some ideas, but we need some help in developing it further. Admission potentially to an accelerator program, supporting refining the MVP, launching an MVP beta, and funding to found a startup. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, David. You managed to do that with 5 seconds left. All right, Judge, you have 2 minutes, so would you like to ask some questions? And please, judges, don't forget to unmute yourself when you want to ask a question.
David,
I have a question.
I have a question. Oh, Danish.
Sorry, Katarina. No, ladies first.
I just wanted to ask David if you have a prototype or an existing website to show to us.
No, unfortunately, we really wanted to focus on validating the idea and which direction to go, first and foremost. So unfortunately not. We spent our time researching, and that took up most of the time to show that there is no conclusive evidence about the correlation yet.
All right, thank you.
Valerie, also a quick question. Thank you. So what it will be, just that I understand it correctly, is a tool where I can sort of like enter or understand my digital, like newly developed digital habits and how they might impact my mental health, or will I get support once I know that there's something like an issue going on?
Well, it was really 4 different areas. So the first is to bring awareness and help people educate themselves on the potential impact from different articles and different resources that are saying what could happen. An instant check. We haven't decided whether we develop that ourselves or could partner with other solutions that are out there. Provide links to telemedicine for psychiatric assistance. And the last one is the biggest leap, but is the most potential for future continuous help, is to develop a solution that monitors continuously in the background the data habits.
We have time for one more quick question.
Do you have a specific use case for your technology or your product idea? What, for example, very specific, would it be useful for?
That's a good question. We were thinking of how to help avoid or manage addiction to digital gaming, or addiction, basically.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, David, thank you so much. Excellent, good start. Go ahead and mute yourself, sir. Appreciate you, thank you. So we're going to try one more time just to see if Luis is here to do his pitch. If not, then we are going to move on. I do not see David appearing. So next team up is led by Karina Kunze. Karina, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. Marina?
We have a problem. My screen, my connection to Hamburg is very bad, and therefore Tommy will share his screen, and we'll do a mixture of communication on the PowerPoint. And we have a little movie, but we did not really. We will try it.
All right, let's give it a shot. So yeah, go ahead and get something up on the screen for us, and we'll give it our best shot.
So we need Tommy and me.
Perfect. Everybody else, please mute.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Yep, we see that. Okay, so your 3 minutes starts now.
So it's about the Magic Mask makeover machine. And the picture you are seeing right now, the next picture, that everybody knows. So the dirty mask goes in, the fine mask goes out. Our team consists of me, Tommy, and Hans. And we are taking part in Challenge 2. Next page. We did research on the coronavirus, on the reuse of the mask, on the UV light, on ultrasound, heat, and yes. And we had a couple of results. Tommy, the results in short?
Yeah, so I mean, like as I kind of write here, basically we settled on to a combination of ultrasound, soapy water, and heat because for a bunch of reasons, but ultrasound is really effective at cleaning surfaces by itself, and the other techniques have risks of degrading masks or just degrading the filters inside the masks and also encouraging mutation of various like germs to be more resistant to those things.
Can we see the little movie now?
About the usage?
Yes.
Okay. And hopefully that can just run. Oh, I lost the PowerPoint.
Okay. We did a little user story as a movie, and that was obviously not the one, telling how a nurse or how a doctor used the thing.
Okay, you're out of time for the moment, but if you want to leave your screen up, maybe towards the end of your presentation, maybe the judges can ask you a couple of questions during the 2 minutes that will help you to explain a little more. Judges, do you have a question at all?
I have a question. So your solution is based on ultrasound, right?
Yes.
And how fast can something like this can be developed by ultrasound? Do you have any research on this? You use usual components, or is it something very specific that have to be built up for this?
So we already have this prototyping, and the requirements and questions are on the way. So we have a third participant already required.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Any more questions from our judges?
Yeah, this is Bart. You hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. How do you want to test the effectiveness of your test?
By doing the typical tests you do in a medical laboratory.
I guess basically you'd run masks through the cycle and then try to culture bacteria and viruses after running through and see if there's anything still living on there.
We have time for another question if anyone has one.
Valerie, quick question. Is this for the surgical mask or the N95, or as we call them, FFP2? Which type of masks do you think?
FFP2 95.
Although hopefully everything.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Tommy and Karina. Tommy, if I can ask you to stop sharing your screen, and if you can both go on mute and stop sharing your video, that would be awesome. So we're going to get the next team up, led by Danielle Sacco. Danielle, are you there? Do we have Danielle? No. Okay, so on to the next one for now. We'll give Danielle a chance to come back in a moment. Jeff Katz, are you there?
Yep. Hi.
Yeah, great to see you. Jeff, do you need to share your screen?
So we pre-recorded exactly a 3-minute video and uploaded it to Google Drive. So if you can play the video, that would be fantastic.
Okay. I will let the powers that be do that.
I will share it in a moment. Hold on for a second.
Thank you, Yosha.
So the reason that we did a video rather than doing it live is mostly related to the technology involved. So doing a VR demo and a mixed reality demo is a little bit difficult via Zoom. Okay, there it is.
Excellent. All right, let's all watch the video. Everyone, please mute your microphones. Thank you, Yosha.
There's a voiceover on the video. Can you turn it up? We can't hear.
I don't know how that actually, hold on for a second. I have to stop it again. Otherwise, I'll try to do it. Hold on. But otherwise, you have to play. You have to do it on your own.
There should be a way where you can share the computer sound.
Okay, my computer has some problems. Can you do it on your own? Like play it on your own and...
I can give it a shot. I make no promises.
Oh, sorry, now it's working. Hold on.
Rebecca Wood, Zed Singh, and Daria Baptista.
I suggest we restart Yosha, so it starts from the beginning.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to our viz. We are Jeff Katz, Rebecca Wood, Zed Singh, and Daria Baptista. VRViz is a virtual reality epidemiological visualization tool. VRViz was founded as a modern approach to problem-solving current health crises on the international, global, regional, and local level. VRViz taps into real-time data sources to create data-driven simulations. On the international level, VRViz is capable of tracking epidemics in real time, allowing for epidemiologists to track outbreak spreads and input mathematical simulations to predict areas which will most be heavily impacted next. This COVID-19 simulation shows the outbreak path starting from day 0 in Wuhan and continuing into other immediately affected countries. Visualization of spread and its predicted path can be an investment tool on the global and national level for health scientists to convey policy-influencing data to government officials and policymakers. It can be used to aid in drafting lockdown guidelines and protective measures for identifiable vulnerable regions. Furthermore, users can also use real-time data and simulations on the regional and local level to show hospital ICU bed capacity. Predictive modeling can also be used in the software to identify which hospitals will be harder impacted and in need of more support. This predictive modeling can make it easier for health scientists to convey best resource management so that hospitals can be best supported according to need. Additionally, on the local level, patients needing to go to the ICU COVID treatment can quickly assess which hospital ICU nearest to them has the best capacity for treatment. This capacity, for example, could show bed capacity, it could show ventilator capacity, among other things. With visualization software such as this, healthcare scientists can easily convey to policymakers on also the regional level to understand how to best manage their resources. For example, in Germany, a resource manager could look into each of the regions within Germany and determine where to best the ventilator stock so that hospitals most affected by the outbreak can have the best chance at fighting and treating those who come into their units. Additionally, predictive modeling can be used at this level to determine which hospitals will next become hit the hardest. And also, on the patient level, those at home thinking they have symptoms of COVID-19 can also look into predictive software that's provided into the application to understand which hospital can treat them best. Thank you again for your time. We are VR Biz.
Excellent. Thank you. Joshua, screen. Super. Hopefully nobody was traumatized by the floating COVID-19 bouncing up and down in front of them. Judges, does anyone have a question for Jeff?
Yeah, this is Danush. Jeffrey, just a question. What is the value for having this information on a VR than compared to a website? So what do you think makes more impact?
Yeah, so it's exactly about making that impact. So when we first started the project, the idea was to show a lot of different data sources at the same time. And in VR with 3 dimensions plus time, it's easier to see the correlations and impacts. But after talking with our mentors, we learned that actually it would be really useful for epidemiologists to be able to interact with the simulation in real time, to be able to go and say, okay, over here, the spread rate is now higher. This country has closed its borders, and it's hard to convey in video, but the interaction in VR or mixed reality is very intuitive and easy for people to do without being trained.
This is Felix. I am wondering, targeting towards professional epidemiologists or also to maybe other scientists that do not have the professional epidemiological background?
So from a business model perspective, we didn't think too far into the target. I could imagine that it could be useful in many different branches.
Jeffrey, one more question from my side. So which kind of data sources have you considered to include in your research? Meaning, when you start to simulate how the epidemics would grow, do you have any specific data that you have in mind to include in your data sets?
So I would actually defer to Rebecca here. Rebecca, are you in the call?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, for the data that we use primarily, as well as Johns Hopkins, who have a wealth of big data sets for up-to-date information on the outbreak and on its spread. So this is information such as ICU, hospital bed capacity, number of cases by region, number of deaths by region. And sources are continually updated every morning and sometimes also like twice a day. So in this way, we have a very robust data set that is easily accessible. And also in terms of the first question for the value of the VR software versus a website, the idea is that often health scientists have trouble conveying the importance of their findings or what their findings mean to other policyholders who are making decisions. And so the idea is that this is a software that can be much more interactive and intuitive for someone who's a non-scientist who wants to understand what do these results mean. And it's easier to visualize when you can actually see a globe and see the spread for someone in another country to say, okay, now I can see that my country is going to be hit next, and this is why I need to implement these lockdown procedures or implement these allocations of resources in a way that's much more helpful for a non-scientific background than graphs and data and websites.
Super. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, we're out of time. Thank you, Jeff. We need to move forward, but yeah, we're just not quick enough. Sorry. Ask your question in private chat, maybe. So let's move to the next. Is Matthias Bachmann on the line?
Hello, Matthias speaking here. I will share my screen.
Please do. And once I see it up and running, I'll let you know that you're ready to start.
Can you see my screen now?
Just starting up. Bear with us a second. All right, it is there. Matthias, your 3 minutes starts now.
Great, thank you. So we started in the challenge 2, protect healthcare workers, and our project called Safe Mask. Wait a moment. My mouse is not here. So what we do? What we do is helping hospital procurers to filter fraudulent suppliers for medical person protection equipment. It's FFP2 and 3 mask, for example. So it's a pure volunteer community work to collect and validate the supply data and then automate that with artificial intelligence. So it's pure open data and open source. I want to show you how we grow up the last 4 weeks. So we started in March 18th with 3 people. Then on the 20th, we started with bio versus virus. So we had the first model of a mask protection, working together with Charity and Integrity Next. Then the next one was a COVID-19 global hackathon. So we are focusing on fraud databases, and we're creating white and black lists. And we're working with, for example, Chinese supply chain databases. We work together with Zukunft Krankenhaus Einkauf. So they are organized, 30 purchases organized in WhatsApp. So we changed them to a newer system. Then we work with a tool like Authentic for supply chains and Remedy Match. We are now part of the Solution Enabler program. And now in this one, we work with Charity, SAP Hartmann, and with Magic Mask Makeover Machine. What we did in this hackathon, we focus on a more people-centric approach. We define what we want to do with design thinking canvas, and we make interviews with very nice people here. What we also do, we create a hospital survey. So please take 3 minutes time to fill out the survey, rate the service, how your community can help us so we can help you. We can focus our volunteering work on services you really need. And what we have learned now is it was a great hackathon team spirit here. We learned new tools. We have interviews with awesome mentors, and we connect to other projects, and we find also new potential team members. So it was a great success. Thank you very much. If you want to join our team, you find everything here under Safe Masks. Thank you.
Excellent. Perfect timing as well, Matthias. Thank you very much. So, judges, any questions?
Yeah, this is Bart. I see the opening slide and you mentioning my heroes. Actually, the picture you used is part of a campaign that I started. There was no reference to what we ever were doing. So you copied quite a lot of the content that we published, and you didn't make any referrals. So in terms of fair play, that doesn't make me a good judge here. I tried to reach out to you, you didn't reply. So whatever it is what you try to do. And I think I like the idea. It's a very profound idea, but you just can't take and copy and paste without making any reference. I think it's just not part of a fair play game. Just wanted to make that remark.
This is the picture of the Charité, and we are working with Charité together.
This is a picture that I generated, and the text comes from My Heroes hashtag. It's a campaign that we started, myheroes.global, 3 weeks ago. We can take the discussion offline, but
yeah, sure.
Please check your sources before you start using images and hashtags, because that's actually a project that we started, and there is no any reference to it. So in terms of being fair, I think I tried to reach out to you.
The picture influenced us. This is what I can say.
Take this one offline, guys. Is there another question?
Yes. I just, Valerie, I wanted to ask, quickly explain to me again, who do you work with to identify like fraudulent or fraud products? I missed that in the beginning.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Well, it's about identifying like fraud products, right? So
yeah.
I wanted to ask which sources, like who's checking this?
Normally the procurers, the hospitals, they get more than 100 emails per day.
Exactly.
So they need to check this.
But which database, or how do you check? I thought that the service that you provide is that we can check this email, we get the supplier name, and we check whether this is an actual proper product, right?
So at first it's more, in the first line it's community work. So we check this for the purchasers. We share these supply chain addresses, put it in a database, and then more and more we will check these data with the databases. We are using databases from the UN, databases in China, and US databases. So there are many data silos all over the place, and we bring them together and check these sources.
Okay, thank you, Matthias. If we can ask you to unshare your screen and mute your microphone and turn off your video, we will get the next person up. So can I call on Marvin Kemper? Marvin, are you there? Do you have Marvin Kemper? No. Okay, so can we call on Karen from MyCare? Karen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent, perfect.
And I submitted a video earlier.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna play it. Hold on for a second.
It has voiceover as well, so.
Yeah, I already checked it. Hope it works. It's this one, right?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Going into battle are equipped with uniforms and armor to protect them and ensure an advantage over their enemies. Yet, not all enemies can be seen, and not all succumb to physical bullets. Long after war's end, soldiers are known to present with varying degrees of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which affects their quality of life and could lead to recurrent illnesses, isolation from community, and suicide in some cases. Healthcare workers at the front lines of fighting COVID-19 are similar to soldiers in the thick of battle. Where lucky, they are equipped with masks, face shields, and gowns, the physical bullets, but have inadequate defense against the possible effects of the trauma being experienced daily in their work. A quick survey of some healthcare workers showed that they are exhausted, sad about losing patients and colleagues, and worried about inadequate protective gear, all of which adds onto the usual stress of their work. How can hospitals and governments ensure that the total well-being of the healthcare worker is not neglected while they work hard to defeat this common enemy? Enter MyCare. MyCare is an AI-based app which the healthcare worker downloads on their mobile device. It collects valuable data about the user's physical, emotional.
I think you paused it.
and recommends timely, personalized, and applicable interventions. Following check-in prompts, the user answers short standard questions based on which a secondary assessment may be recommended. The secondary assessment does a deeper dive based on selected questions from standard psychological skills like the ERI and PSQ skills, which score the responses. Interventions are then tailored for the user based on their score. The interventions are personalized and may include linking to guided meditation sessions, forwarding off a request to protective gear registries, connecting to free psychotherapy sessions, connecting to a colleague support group, alerting a designated friend, or as simple as automated prompts to take water breaks and do breathing and stretching exercises. My Care differs from other wellness apps in that it is strategically designed with the healthcare worker and their unique challenges in mind. Some nurses and doctors who were asked said they would use it because they understand that their well-being has a direct impact on their patients and it would make them feel heard and understood. They particularly liked having reminders to breathe and drink water and prompts access to help. The overall benefits of this app include early detection, intervention, and long-term follow-up, preemptive protection of the total wellness of frontline workers, which will lead to increased trust in management, improved short and long-term work output, and better patient outcomes. The entire idea was developed during this hackathon and leaves room for software developers and further research to make it ready and available. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Yes. How are you protecting the data that you're collecting, and who owns those data?
Thank you for the question. So this was a quick primary survey that we did of some colleagues that we know personally. So my team member and I, and also we based this on some research that has previously been done as well about the effects of stress on the healthcare worker.
Yeah, I basically conducted like a very small focus group with nurses who have been shifted from a normal station to a corona station currently. And I talked to them yesterday, and I also asked physicians that I know what they would like or prefer in an intervention. So yeah, it's also like we use participatory design approaches for that, because we don't want to entitle someone to an intervention that we think is great, but we wanted to hear from the actual affected people what they would wish for in an intervention.
We have time for one more question. No? Okay, so thank you so much, Karen and Mel. Appreciate you, and we will move on to our next. So Ava, are you there from Micah?
I'm here.
Excellent. Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. Yes,
yes,
I'll do. Just let me. So.
Excellent. Okay, we can see your screen. So as soon as you hit that present button, I'll start the timer.
Well, just a second. So,
okay, your 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you. So I will pitch on our hotline. It's a video-based hotline for mental health support, and it will be challenge number 5. The idea, well, I'm sorry, I cannot move forward. So, okay. So the idea is actually hacked out of a broader and another concept, background concept, which me and my co-founder Julia have been working on this like the last couple of months, and then came Corona, and so we came up with this Corona hotline with the support, voluntary support of colleagues and a network of psychotherapists, and of course of other software developers, to challenge the mental health consequences due to the outbreak, which actually it involves all the citizens. They are, since the famous, perhaps latest, since the famous speech of Angela Merkel, they started to feel uncertain and perhaps of feeling being overwhelmed, out of the feeling of losing control and feeling helplessness about a situation which can they not control. But perhaps the most the one group of one target group which is very much exposed to stress due to this recent pandemic are the healthcare professionals, because they not only deal with normal feelings like fear of infection or like the whole community has, but also with extra fear of stigmatization due to treating COVID-19 patients, or have high overload of work, or have anger, or even fear, or to speak out, or perhaps if it comes to a triage, also moral dilemma. So what we did is that, especially for this group and other stress groups which have no time to run after support, we built this hotline for instant mental health support, which is actually a digital waiting room. So it is bringing the instant help to them instead to letting them go to the help or to the real waiting room. And it is secure, it is fast, it is confidential, and it is free of charge, because it is made also possible through a network of professionals, psychotherapists like myself, and who understand the imperative of social distance actually as an imperative of social solidarity. So how it works. It's a digital, it's a digital room, and it makes possible that it's a barrier free for the user to come inside and not without logging himself, go to a video conference and make a call. Sorry?
You're out of time.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is it, but it's of course a part of another mission, which this what explains the AE out of the problem, which is data-driven psychotherapy, or to transfer behavioral health and putting patient in the center. So yeah, okay. So thank you.
Let's get the judges
Thank
to
you
ask
very
you a
much.
couple of questions.
Yeah.
I have a question, Valerie. So you said it's now free of charge. What is your business model like after the pandemic? This will obviously also be a good resource. Do you have any contracts with insurance companies? How do you think this is going to be? Who's going to pay for this?
So this is what I would have said before. This is like what else? There is also the possibility to combine it with a broader therapy concept, which is traditional psychotherapy, also offered through this network of psychotherapists, which will take part, which will be broader during the next days, as we want to broadcast tomorrow. And it's a live video chat, or actually also self-course trainings possible. At the moment, it is immediately available for private patients, like privately insured patients. And we want immediately to have some cooperation with public health insurance to make coverage of the cost. And we really hope to move forwards during the couple of months, and hoping on some support also from the networks of these initiatives.
Excellent. Another question?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
this
have a
is
question. Okay.
This is Bart. Excellent work and right on topic. We found papers as well in Wuhan that 50% of these people are suffering from depressions.
Yeah.
So it's a very urgent topic. How do you want to compete against already the existing players? Because this is nothing new. Like, there are so many platforms out there that are focusing on mental health, on teleconsultation. They're also using cognitive behavior therapy by using AI bots. So how are you going to differentiate between all those who already have contracts with insurance and already have a lot of therapists and already have their patient base?
Well, one thing, two things on this, that there is actually, our competition is not that much known. This is MindDoc, and it's not Selfie or Better Health, because they have also courses and guidance, but guidance is not professional at this level of psychotherapy. So we combine the existing offers with the very professional, the highest professional level that in psychotherapy can offer. So this is one part, but the vision, and this is only one part of the vision. We start with a hotline, and then in a couple of weeks, actually, with online therapy, to actually build a community which will serve us to come up actually with the real value proposition, which is data-driven psychotherapy, for precision psychotherapy and personalized psychotherapy.
Okay. Check also Mentavio. They are doing exactly the same. Mentavio.
They are a platform. They are a platform, and they are actually a B2B. They are a B2B business. We are starting as a B2C business to really bring innovation directly to the patient.
We've run out of time for questions. So, Danush, I know you had a question.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
So, what exactly you achieved in the last 3 days?
Yes.
Danush,
yes, of course.
Can you ask in private messaging? We've run out of time for questions.
All right. So I have achieved a lot of networking with the mentors. It has been amazing, and we made an app for the patient to make it possible, the digital room, and we had a marketing expert on the team.
Okay, we need to move on. My goodness me. You're getting minus points for crashing this. I've said.
Oh, no.
Questions in PMs, please can you unshare your screen over, and thank you so much for being here. All right, I told you I was a bulldog, everybody. Don't crash my timers. All right, make sure you unshare your screen, please, Ava, and mute your mic. Judges, ask your questions in PMs if you have any more. Okay, can you just look at the top of the screen and unshare? Thank you for the note, Aline. Yeah, I'm having to use a headset.
Eva, you need to unshare your screen, Eva.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all right.
On the top, go on the top.
Yes,
there's
yes,
a green.
Yes. Okay.
Unshare.
It's still tight and yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it better now?
Now it's done.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right. So if you can mute, that'll be great. All right. So next up for Wi-Fi monitoring units, Jean-Pierre Stein.
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Fine. I'll come with a camera. Hi, now you can see me. I'll use some traffic, and I will start a share.
Right okay, here. So can you also hear me? I'm gonna talk to you through this.
All right, thank you. Yes, we can hear you. We can see the screen. So your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, so we are Team Wi-Fi Bloom, and we provided a short video showing you our idea and product, and I'm going to talk afterwards a little bit more about it. So let's start. Seems like the audio is missing.
Audio is missing.
Should I share?
Can you play it? The audio is not get by the screen capture.
Should I show the video? I have it as well.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
It's in the box. That would be perfect.
All right. Then unshare your screen, please.
Yes. There it is. Where's the button?
I already did it.
You did. Thank you.
Okay, right. Perfect. Thank you very much.
There you go. Does that work?
We took up challenge number 3.
Yeah.
We conceived a device consisting of a battery, a Wi-Fi module for monitoring, and a SIM card module, which we all packed in a device in a box called Wi-Fi Bloom. A Wi-Fi Bloom can be set up at any public space, especially in parks. Keep track of social distancing is applied. The Wi-Fi monitoring will find out how many Wi-Fis are in a certain area. And if too many people are there that social distancing cannot be applied, it will send a signal to a server. All data gathered is, of course, anonymized. This is the front end. It's a heat map which shows.
Oh, you just muted your audio, I think, Joscha.
On them. Like a Mauer Park, you see a graph, how many people have been there, and you see a risk score, which can be estimated by analytics and other professionals, so the common police officer can read it. Another important feature is the group compositions. You see the size of groups and the counts. If you see huge groups, we definitely have to take measure. And you get an alert. So you see what happened, Volkspark Friedrich sign, and you click on there, and we see a spike. And the risk score went up. Maybe some police officer should go there and see if social distancing is kept.
Okay, so that was the video. We already provided the document showing you more of the technical details because it's hard to explain it in 3 minutes. The document should be shown now. Jean-Pierre, if you can show your screen, maybe you can show it during the Q&A. And I think then I'm ready to answer your questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, whilst that's being open, so judges, do you have any questions?
Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
You are.
Okay. You can scroll as you like.
I have a question again, Valerie. Hi.
Yeah, hey.
So you're using like Wi-Fi, sort of the signals as a proxy. So we're not actually measuring the distance. I didn't understand it maybe properly.
Yeah, technically it's a little bit more complicated. The thing is, Wi-Fi devices like mobile phones, when they search for Wi-Fi networks in their surroundings, they send a specific package, which is called probe request frame, to ask all the Wi-Fi networks to respond. We are just capturing this package without providing a real Wi-Fi network. So there is no need to connect anything. We just capture this package and analyze it. So we use it to analyze the signal strength, and then we can estimate the distance a little bit, only roughly, but enough. And so we can also try to measure groups, because groups are having a similar arrival time, and they are having a similar signal strength, for example.
So is this like the Google traffic tool that I see when it's red on my map?
It's similar, but different. It's using a different technology, but the result is kind of the same. The police has the ability to see how many people are currently in a park, for example, and also it gives an estimate about the risk, which Google Drive doesn't really do.
But can I do one more, Stuart? So what you want to reach is, what you want is people to see this, users, not the officials, use it and like change their own behavior because they see there's a crowd.
No, actually, we want the police to use it, so that because I saw police cars driving around in parks pretty randomly and just like talking to all the people they see that are sitting around and meeting in bigger groups, and this would allow them to go like super targeted to one specific park because they know somebody's breaking the rules there, or at least the risk in this park is higher at the moment.
You just go there and tell the people, or alert them, tell them, hey, that's dangerous. You don't have to just cuff them, you have to tell them.
Got it. I just try. Maybe you can also imagine a situation where people actually use this and adapt their behavior.
Yeah, sure, it's possible. Yeah.
Maybe it just makes noise. You could do that too. It just makes noise. You don't have to have the front end. It just makes noise in the park. Too many people.
I do have one more question. How do you get all this data? I mean, do you need to release something on your smartphones, or you just collect it?
There's no need for anything to change on the smartphones of the users. We just need our device in the park, and it's just like it's just monitoring. It's just reading. It's it's not actively talking to anybody. It's just listening to what the device is sent, and this information is enough to know, because every device sends its unique identifier.
Excellent.
I got you, but instead of
so we're out of time on questions. Any more questions, just PM. Please share your screen. Thank you so much for being here. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
So next up, we have Daniel from Decline. Are you there, Daniel? No. We're going to Pravi Kumar from Afghanistan. Is that a no to Praveen as well? All right, we're going to go for a threefer. Third time, Shinana message.
I'm here.
I see you. You're right. Would you like to share your screen?
Thank you. So hello, everyone. I will go through the pitching and my colleague Haris will share the screen. So Haris, please start sharing.
Yes, moment.
Once I see that up and it's working,
Okay,
I'll
and
start your
presentation.
timer.
I will start presentation as well.
All right, we can see that.
This presentation.
Excellent. All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you. So pandemic outbreak affected everyday activities all over the globe. The situation is same in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Every day, number of infected people increases. Strict preventive measures made basic daily activities impossible. People all over the country are facing with ban on movement from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. Already infected, self-isolated, and people who already suffer from certain chronic diseases are not allowed to go out at all. Same measure is applied to people who are 65 years old and older, as well as for children under the age of 18. Since they are not allowed to be outside, they are unable to do shopping and procure basic items for them or their families. In Bosnia, we don't have developed system for online shopping, which makes buying food as vegetables and fruit impossible. What is even worse is that there is no option of buying medication online. This situation motivated us to develop an application, Pandemic Helper. Currently, there are many volunteers trying to reach out to those people who search for help. Pandemic Helper is created to connect people who are in high need for help with volunteers ready to help them. Pandemic Helper is suitable for young people, older people, as well as for already infected people. It's easy to use and doesn't require many steps to be taken to get your order. Since more than 19,000 people lost their jobs due to the outbreak in Bosnia, we enabled option of giving an extra fee to the volunteers. Since the state is not supporting people who got layoffs, we wanted to provide some kind of help to them with this option. With our app, we are supporting measures as social distancing with having less people outside and promoting preventive measures on our landing page. With credibility our company has, we are able to promote application on our website, but also in other most popular media in our country. We are a team who is working in the same software company, Atlant BH, which is based in Sarajevo, capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina, together with other 100 colleagues. We are delivery manager, UI, UX designer, and software engineer. Our contribution started with making a COVID-19 live map of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is showing number of infected, cured, and died people, and continued with this platform. We started working on the concept and development last week, and the opportunity to participate in this hackathon motivated us to push ourselves harder. We don't have a business model for either of these applications. We are doing it for our country. With no possibility of online shopping and difficulties in getting help in another way, this application will be live from next week. However, our development doesn't end there, since we have ideas for adding more features and options. Also, there's huge interest in our company for improving the application, so much bigger team will continue working on it after the hackathon. Application is also suitable for many other countries who are facing with lack of online options. Thank you.
Perfect. And also you get the award for finishing with the most time left. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So judges, please ask your questions.
Hi, this is Felix. Very great idea. Can you tell us quickly what exactly you added in this hackathon?
Can you repeat what I added?
What you added to your idea during the last days of this hackathon?
So what we started is actually the concept, and we started something of the backend development. What we actually finished during this week, and we finalized a bit backend and front end, and also our designer finalized UI and UX for this application.
Any more questions from our judges? Okay then. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
here. If you can unshare your screen and your team
Yes.
can and switch off videos, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So next up, we have Aaron Day. Aaron, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you.
Really good to see you.
Perfect. So we can see your screen. So your time starts now.
Great. Thank you so much. So I'm Aaron, and for me, this is a very personal challenge for me, my family, and I know a lot of people who are affected. But what I know is that I'm not unique, and we're actually all united by this. Today, I'd like to tell you about how you can do 3 things to make a difference. It's very well known that people with pre-existing conditions such as cancer, cystic fibrosis, or diabetes need to take extra precautions, but there simply isn't enough data or experience to know what will happen. The only solution seems to be to put everybody into isolation, and probably rightly so. But this doesn't really work in the long term. It cuts off regular care and could make conditions worse with really long-lasting effects. Until we have more data, we need to protect and advise this population based on a better understanding of their actual risk factors. Our solution is a simple app that allows people to check their individual risk and take action. It provides personalized risk assessments, medically verified plans, and resources such as remote consultations and online peer support. With the app, you'll be able to set up a profile and provide information such as your age, gender, activity level, and information about any underlying health issues. You'll also be able to combine your wearables and any other testing equipment. Your data will then be combined with additional data sources such as local infection levels or control measures that could affect your risk. Our platform will then give you an immediate assessment and clear actions. For example, it might be okay to go out today, but not tomorrow. Over time, you'd understand how your health behaviors can impact your risk. For example, if you start exercising more. As we look further, the app and platform will be gathering your data so we can create solutions for individuals, health services, and the community. But what's really important to stress is that access to data is really important from manufacturers to institutions in order to really build up this risk model. As a team, Lorianne, Kat, and I would like to say thank you to everyone who has helped us work through this idea during this hackathon. And finally, we'd like to borrow a little bit from chaos theory and the butterfly effect. We really believe by doing 3 things, each individual can have a profound impact on the health of one and of millions. So check your risk, make a plan, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Judges, do you have any questions at all for Aaron?
Is there
Okay, go on.
Sorry. Is there action that needs to be taken based on the data that you collect and analyze? Can you tell the user, do this, do that?
Yes. So the idea is, for example, if it's very clear that they have very low activity levels, the immediate action for them could be to start doing a bit more exercise. It's quite a simple thing. There might be some more complicated things. So we use the example of diabetes to say, actually, it's really important that you have a plan if things go wrong, because when things are going wrong, it might be too late. So as soon as you provide that information, you'd be able to see very specific things that you can do.
This is Sylvia Thun from Charity. Did you use any healthcare IT standards?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So did you use any IT standards, D10 or FHIR?
As part of our exploration, we didn't manage to get that far. What we heard from a number of people was the integration is a very big challenge. So getting data into a nice format to bring into the platform. And that's why we started with the self-assessment route, because I think over time it would be amazing if you have that data portability, But the quickest way to generate a risk model would be to include self-reporting. But absolutely, if we could get those data in a good format, it would be really, really helpful, I think.
This is Bart, a question from my side. Thank you so much for the presentation. You mentioned several times that getting access to data, open data, is crucial. How much are you giving back in terms of, if you create models, do you share them as open source? Do you want to privatize the findings and make that your business model, or you're going to create an open model?
No, actually, I think there's two parts, and thank you so much for that question as well, because one is understanding the risks, right? Being very clear as to how are we calculating your, in this example, a median profile. Well, actually, it combines these and these things. As you have more data points, you might be able to explain in more detail. So I can start doing something. So if we find out air conditioning is bad for you, well, that could come up. I think that openness should be there, so it can also be verified scientifically. So it's not just some pseudo ideas that we put in. The second part we heard from some of our mentors as well is just privatizing data isn't necessarily, it is sensitive, but it doesn't allow people to actually contribute. So the idea would be to protect people's privacy and anonymize that data, but still give access. Because I think, you know, we haven't really thought of this so much as a commercial solution as a social solution.
Thank you, Aaron. Super. Thank you so much, Aaron. That was excellent. Can I ask you if you'd stop sharing your screen and mute?
Thank you.
So we'll move on to our next. So is Theodora Sadamis on the line? Theodoros? No. Okay. On to Jim of Positive Mental Health Capital. Jim, are you there?
Hello, this is Yankee speaking. I'm also searching Jim because he's in my team.
Okay, so if you look for Jim, we'll move on to the next one and we'll come back. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So Harmony,
Sorry for that.
Harmony at Clear, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Harmony.
I'm going to be co-speaking with Wes, who's also on my team, and he's going to be doing the showing the presentation portion. Oh, wait, I just realized my video's not on. Hello.
Excellent. So Wes, if you can share your screen.
I am attempting to do that now, but for some reason, share my screen. All right, here we go. I figured it out. I have too many tabs open was my problem.
All right, we can see your screen. Yep, perfect. So your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Harmony Pilabello, the team leader of Team Clear, and this is our app Recover, a multi-purpose self-assessment tool created by a well-rounded team of 8 over the course of this hackathon. The idea was born after realizing people don't know if they need to get tested and hospitals are at capacity without enough resources. Now, there are already some wonderful apps out there working to address the many issues coming from this pandemic. The problem, though, is they either use difficult terminology that alienates people like myself, they're not easy to use, or they offer singular solutions. I mean, imagine it. As a user, wouldn't you feel empowered and less stressed knowing that one app is tracking your symptoms and giving up-to-date information about your area? So you can look back at any point and say, hey, I've actually been coughing for 5 days straight. I really need to maintain social distance. And I also want to get notified if someone tests positive in my vicinity. Which is why in cities like New York, which is currently the epicenter of the pandemic and where I happen to live, we could really use an app that simplifies our life and prevents mild cases from flooding hospitals. But we can still expand this to any city. Now, say you've been logging symptoms, but suddenly have to go to the hospital. Recover allows you to share that information from your phone to your medical professional and also provides up-to-date safety information in your area. Our app will capture a larger group of users because of how easy and visual it is to use. New York is full of diverse people, and we would communicate with them through descriptive icons, easy to read buttons, and straightforward results. So quick recap before I hand it to Wes. Recover is user-friendly, which is great for non-English speakers and the visually impaired. It would provide increased analytics by combining self-assessments with contact tracing and relieve multiple pressure points for the user and the medical professionals.
So contact tracing. Right now it's manual. People are volunteers phone people. They figure out where they've been, who they've been in contact with. This can be slow, shortage of volunteers, and the data is instantly outdated. Our solution is digital. You get fast acquisition. You can identify patterns quickly, those super spreaders, as you will, and it's always up to date. Now, combining these two data sets together can be very useful epidemiologically speaking. One on its own has weaknesses, together strong. Under the hood, we built some really cool things this weekend, 3 things. The first, Harmony already talked about, built on Firebase and Google Cloud. Check your symptoms, log your symptoms, see if you need to be tested, look at your symptoms back. We also added in FAQ, simple things like that. News in your area, up to date, what your government's telling you to do. This is just a simple RSS reader, XML feed. Then the really cool stuff we built in R and Google Maps APIs. So you're able to get the data from the phone, where you've been. We have the data from the government, so where symptoms and outbreaks are. We can map that to tiles, bring that into Google Maps API, add back in the path routes to users so they can see how they've traveled to these zones, and even show the locations of testing facilities to them in their path.
Excellent.
Well, so in conclusion,
that turns out to be your time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, perfect.
We were done anyway, so it's good.
Yeah.
All right. So judges, 2 minutes for questions, please.
Can you add some symptoms manually, or is there a drop down of symptom that you guys provide through the app?
Right now, the symptoms in the app are provided. It's the ones used by the different authorities for their determination if you need to be tested. We've used a Firebase database, which means we can it's non-SQL, so we can add symptoms as new data comes out. One of the new ones that came out recently was diarrhea, if you might remember. Originally, that wasn't one of the criteria, but now it is. And so as we get more data and we learn more about COVID, we can add things in very, very easily to this database questionnaire.
Great.
Any more questions?
Brahia, once again, which part of the application did you develop during this hackathon? Because this sounds quite impressive. And did you do all of this, or what specific parts did you develop in the last 2 days?
Great question, and thank you so much. We did have a team of 8, so we did have a lot of hands on deck. This was all built this weekend. Harmony had this amazing idea. She got us together. She's based in New York. We have people in Berlin. I'm based in Canada. And she had this idea. She doesn't have a health background. She doesn't have a tech background, but we came together and we built all of this in the weekend. I mean, it's got a lot of languages. Some of us were, JavaScript for that cloud platform, for Google Compute, R for that analytics. Like, we're all using the skills we already had, but we built it all this weekend. It's really exciting.
And time for one more question, if we have another one from our judges.
It's Valerie. I'll pause it later because I'll have a question, but I'll send it in a private message. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So in that case, with the Aurora Borealis behind him, I can see that Jim is on the line and ready. Jim, say hello to everybody. You're on mute at the moment, by the way.
Hi, everybody. Can you see the screen?
We can indeed, Jim. So your 3 minutes
starts
now.
Okay. Our team want to build hope to fight COVID-19, and these are the team. Every day, we are flooded by images of human misery and tragedy at an unprecedented scale due to pandemic. For many of us, this creates pre-traumatic stress reaction due to the fear and despair before the storm. This storm includes the fear for loved one ending up in hospital and die, the fear for losing job, economic go into deep recession, the fear that the world is ignoring the effort needed to address climate change. Our solution aims to address all 3 categories of fear by creating a platform to mobilize volunteers consisting of medical, psychology, social science student or professional to treat the pre-traumatic stress reaction. The platform connects and coordinate the worldwide help of this volunteer to join force to build the positive consciousness to give hope that we all need to fight COVID-19. And this is not a one-time platform of current pandemic, but in readiness for supporting humanity to face future world crises such as climate change. We identified 3 categories of people who need help from the volunteer: nurses and doctors, people who send help, people who send their loved one to hospital and dramatized by what they saw, the ordinary people who fear for the future due to pandemic wave, economic recovery, and the looming climate change. Our solution based on what we did recently at Greece Hackathon, we propose a safe way to jumpstart economy within next 6, not 18 months, focusing on tourism. This will bring people of tourism industry back to work. We call this Jumpstart Tourism Platform. Here, we present how people can contribute to the economic recovery by jumpstarting tourism of their city. We want to motivate people not to feel alone, helpless, and hopelessness, but step forward to help others and economy through the platform. This platform will use gamification concept through, for example, Zoom session. The more they help others, the more they will receive incentive point to help the tourism platform. The platform helps people to build hope, the positive mental health, key to robust immune system to survive, to fight COVID-19. How volunteer can deliver support session for the 3 categories of people to build hope. The more the volunteer help others, the more care point they accumulate to contribute to the Jumpstart tourism points of their city. The volunteer will receive care points from the 360 feedback they received from all people participated in the online supporting platform session. The platform empower everyone the possibility to step forward and contribute. And this is example of the possible pre and post dramatic reaction. This is an appendix to show what kind of technology used in Jumpstart Tourism program. And this is a cloud architect behind the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Judges, do you have any questions for Jim? Judges, any questions?
Maybe just one question from my side. How much of that already have been implemented? Because you just showed the architecture slide on the end. Would that mean that the system as such have been also implemented over the last couple of days?
I think now mostly just a feasibility study, not yet implemented. But the 3D models, the pipeline, how to create the 3D model of the tourism city, that has been done.
Thank you.
Do you know already where you would start? Which country or which city?
We started at Athens. We presented at Greek Athens.
Okay, and any more questions?
Maybe one more. How do you motivate actually people sharing those information on? Any specific thoughts around that?
Maybe Janke, do you want to talk about it? Janke?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me? I missed the question, I'm sorry. Is it a question regarding the pre-traumatic stress disorder ideas, or?
Now, I just was wondering, how would you bring the people on the platform and motivate them using it, to share the data and so on?
Okay. Well, we had first ideas of having volunteers like students from psychology students or sociological students or something like this to motivate these group to volunteer, because our feeling is that there are many people who want to help and they feel helpless right now and they want to support, and so this gives them the chance to participate and to feel less helpless in the whole context of COVID.
So thank you so much. All right, that is time. Thank you, Jim. If you could stop sharing your screen, and if you and your team have your microphones and stop your videos again, that would be wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next up, representing the team DHM, do we have Sophie Gruber?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, it's Daniela presenting. So Daniela and Sophie, we're both the team leaders.
Perfect.
I'll be presenting because she's on her mobile phone right now. Oh, no, you're not actually. Okay.
Excellent. So
okay, let me share.
Yeah, share your screen.
My screen. Okay, you can see my screen?
Yes, we can. That's a large amount of icons. But okay.
Wait.
All right, so as soon as you hit...
oh, wait,
All right, so your 3 minutes starts now.
So hi everyone, we're Team 7. Have you ever wondered how many languages a general practitioner needs to speak during COVID-19? We have counted, it's 3 languages. They need to speak an emotional language for the patient, a practical language for their coworkers, and the academic language in the research area. The Health Manager's app tailors and translates relevant academic research into visual abstract for patients and practical advice for health workers. Meet Maribel Sanchez. She's a GP in Spain. She's been working under time pressure for weeks now. Her current biggest pain is a misinformed and scared general public. She's overwhelmed by questions from patients and healthcare colleagues and by fast-paced updated research studies from the academic community. But now she has 10,000 research papers at her fingertips. When the 5th patient in a row asks Maribel, is COVID-19 dangerous for my pregnancy? That's what I saw on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Then the app runs a customized scan and creates an output that Maribel can easily share with her patient or with her staff. The patient and staff disseminate the good research in social media quickly. So what happens in the backend? Maribel sets up a profile as a GP researcher or expert, as you can see in our wireframe. The app learns the behavior and search options of Maribel, tailored her to her needs and questions, and an academic curator board ensures her the reliability of the papers so she can use it. Our app has 2 engines going on. So the first one transforms text to summary to research posters, as you can see in the corner, and the second engine transforms keywords to icons to 30 to 60 seconds videos. Maribel can now make twice as many consultations for people with COVID-19 and other patients, and the app helps her become more digital, stay updated, and inform her patients and staff while helping spread the good research. So what did we do this weekend? Well, we had 60-second video prototyping. We did a front-end GitLab ABS code and summary. We already have a database of 30 relevant papers and most common questions from based on GP interviews, because we were very, very user-focused, and we pivoted our idea on the GP. We have a look and feel for our app, and this morning we received 3 user feedbacks from a GP, a ER, and a GIN based in Switzerland. Where do you want to go next? So within 3 months from now, we envision to work with at least 100 GPs in 3 European countries, scale up our database to 50,000 papers to train the first engine into deep learning neural networks, because we found it needs to cluster data into context, methods, outcomes, and limitations to give a broad picture of the research. And the second engine needs to be trained to generate visuals from the text automatically. Our unique value proposition is an accurate and empathic curation between researchers and users and developers. So yeah, Laura is our first mentor and supporter. Gandalf followed. So if you're an AI, deep machine learning expert, or can curate a relevant database, then please join our efforts. And thank you so much for listening.
Daniela. Congratulations on being involved. Nobody's done that since Lord of the Rings. Judges, do we have any questions?
Hi, this is Felix. I was wondering, what's the technology behind in order to extract knowledge from your papers and stuff?
Yeah. So it's 2 engines that we have. It's a deep learning engine on neural networks, extracts clusters. So we found that research papers have always the same structure. There's a context and theory, there's a methodology, and there's the outcomes and limitations. And the first summary that's before the paywall at most papers doesn't include that information. So it's only the conclusions that come out. So this is the first engine that we have. And the second one is one that generates visuals from keynotes, because we want to create a video for the patient, a 60-second video. Actually, I can show one that we already did of one paper. And then there's a poster that staff member can use. So we are working on these two engines right now, and we already coded something over the weekend to test it out. Maybe Jan can say more details about that.
Thank you.
Or did I answer the question?
How do you detect fake news?
We don't detect fake news. There's a lot of engines out there doing that. That's not what we do. So we are not a fake news detector. We basically curate good research, because we have on our curation board knowledgeable researchers. Like now in our team, we had 2 professors from the Bern University that provided a database of 30 relevant pieces of data, are state of the art, they are cited. And also we take bad research, but we put it under limitations, right? So we want to inform the GPs, but also the general public, that there is not one truth in research, and that you always have to look at the methodology, at the sample, where and when has this. So for instance, for this example, it came out that COVID-19 is not dangerous for pregnant women, but the limitation is that the study has been led with only 9 women 3 weeks ago in China, right? So this is the type of information that we want to provide, and then everyone can make their own conclusions.
We have time for one very quick Twitter-style question and answer, like super quick. No? Okay, perfect.
A Twitter-style?
That's even better. That keeps us on time. Thank you, Daniela. Really appreciate it.
You can check our video on the drive, so the short video did, and also our mock-up website.
Sure thing. Awesome. Thank you so much. If you and your team could mute and switch up your videos, better move on to the next. So if I could ask, is Michel Bilder here? Michel?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. Michel, good to see you. If you could share your screen for us, that would be wonderful. And whilst you're doing that, Wes, thank you so much for that amazing comment. I'm actually waiting for to retire. I'm planning on taking his job.
Are you seeing my my screen?
We can see your screen. Yep.
Okay.
As soon as you start presenting, I will start you off.
Okay, I did a video, so I'll let it play.
Hi,
okay,
an IT architect specialized in health. Trying to imagine how we will return to normal life.
Can you increase your volume, Michel?
Useful for key workers
Sorry?
who have had coronavirus.
Can you increase your volume? We can hardly hear it.
Oh, yeah. The idea is simple, but implementation could be complicated unless you have existing projects already in place in Canada to issue those immunity passports. That's the innovation that we want to put forward here. Those existing projects use the VAN network. It's used by 2 government, province, and the federal government to issue business permits. This architecture could easily be changed to emit immunity passport if trust organizations are replaced by health authorities. The underlying technology, Hyperledger Indy, is supported by many major organizations. Healthcare organization is often decentralized, like in Germany. They are called issuer. Never patient data is put online, only the proof, which are meaningless numbers. The owner have a copy of the clinical data on their phone, and the verifier uses the proof online to verify that the data shared by the phone user is valid. Now that the technology is there, let's see what we need on the clinical side. The science for the test is not there yet, but we could presume that 2 tests will be needed to be 100% sure that you're protected. The first test is a RNA ID test to assess the presence of the virus. The test should be performed when you are sick. The other one, a blood test, is performed after you recover and test the level of antibodies in your system. Actual vaccination records are not reliable. They can be tampered or lost. A passport can come in many forms. All options will need to be available. Here, a simple use case. A peer-to-peer validation could be done over Bluetooth, by mail, or by QR code. But here, the user click Explore Nearby, and the citizen identify the guard first. Once that's done, the guard validates the passport of the citizen by checking the proof in the public ledger. And that's it. Thanks to HackingHealth and all the mentors.
This is it. So stop.
Good. Do you add anything, Michelle?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
This is Bart. Thank you for that presentation. I'm a bit confused because we are missing long-term data on the immunity, right? So how do you guarantee that these patients that are obviously tested with immunity have not a declining number of antibodies, because we are missing long-term data? And it could well be that these people who have been immune are vulnerable for reinfection later. How do you deal with that aspect?
I don't know. The science is not there yet, but I think they should be tested 2 times. So if they are, do we want to make them sure at 100% they're safe for healthcare worker, for example? Those 2 tests need to be done. So if there's data missing, we cannot provide anything except the blood test maybe later on, if the tests were not done when you were sick, the RNA test. So those 2, maybe just 1 test will be okay for seeing my father at the retirement home. The blood test will be maybe enough, but we have to wait. But that doesn't mean we have to wait to do the computer software.
Okay, if I can ask a second question. So why do you want to build this in a silo? Is this information not part of the health record from a patient?
It should be part of the health record. It's the blood test is in the lab. It's in the EHR, so it's have to be collected by the health authorities, and then it have to be downloaded in the phone of the user.
We have time for one more question, if there's one more question.
Just quick question, Valerie. I saw the word public blockchain in there. I didn't understand what was going on with that in one of the visuals.
It's a technology that make possible that you can have a proof that your vaccination have been done, but it's a proof without knowledge. You don't need the data to prove that it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit complicated. I mean,
I do know what blockchain in general, as a lay, I mean, I do know a little bit about it. I just didn't understand the whole technology behind it, but maybe we can also, I can read more up about your project. I think in general, your idea is very good and might also be used on different use cases than only COVID immunity.
Of course, it could be the basic of a personal healthcare record in your phone. And just to say that I've speak with the developer of the project in BC in the province, and they had the same ideas of doing a COVID immunity passport, and they will provide the code this week to do that. They were that's strange, but that's it.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. If I can ask you to mute your microphone and switch off your video. We're going to move on to, last but not least, is Brian Lauber here. Brian.
Howdy, I'm here.
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. It's a little early in my time zone. Are you able to see me all right, by the way?
Yes, absolutely. If you go ahead and share your screen with us.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm going to turn off my camera during the presentation because my view is at a really odd angle. So
no worries.
I don't want people seeing my chin the whole time. Oops, hold on a moment. Stopping that video, and I don't use Zoom very often, so I have to figure out how to do this. Oh, apologize. I have to actually fix something with the Mac system preferences, so I'm going to have to exit the call and rejoin.
All right, you do that.
All right.
Okay, so whilst Brian is away for a few seconds, this is everyone's opportunity now to get up off your chairs, maybe shake your hands a little bit, you know, make sure that you haven't just been sitting there for the whole time. I would imagine that anyone that has their video off has probably been doing dancing and pirouettes around the room whilst you're listening to the pitches. But anyone with the video on, like us, maybe you haven't had a chance to have a small break, so feel free to do that. But for everyone that has come and pitched so far, it's really remarkable to see all of the hard work that everyone has been doing, to listen to all of your pitches. And by and large, Zoom has been particularly helpful today and not been too buggy. So thank you to everybody for bearing with any of the Zoom technical issues. But yeah, we are just at the finishing line now. So Brian is our last pitch of the day, coming to us, I believe, from Canada, which is very good of him. It's quite early in the morning over there. And just wait a few more seconds. This is your opportunity also to maybe grab a glass of water or something along those lines, because we need to keep hydrated, of course. All right, so Brian is back with us. We can see your screen, Brian.
Yep, but it closed my browser. So again, I apologize. It'll be just another moment while I get my presentation reloaded.
No problem at all. Once again, 2020 is proving that we haven't fixed technological issues yet.
Yep. It's also proving that, you know, we have to actively make sure we use all of the video conferencing technologies so that we open up the permissions for all of them.
Exactly.
All right, get over to the correct account. Projects. No, let's see. There we go. Recent stuff.
All right, so as soon as you hit the present button, your 3 minutes starts.
Hold on a moment. Pulling my notes around. I swear I had all this set up just a moment ago. All right.
Are you good?
And, oops. Get this full screen again. There we go. Now I'm ready to go.
Okay, your 3 minutes starts now.
So Contribute to Us is a tool that allows everybody to establish supply chains and contribute at a grassroots community level. What exactly does that mean? Well, let me tell you about my experience with the toilet paper crisis of 2020. One day I heard a news report stating that I need to self-isolate for a few weeks. So like any rational person, I rushed to the store to buy toilet paper, but everybody else beat me to the punch. So I, like many others, returned home empty-handed. The fact was there was still plenty of toilet paper to go around. It just didn't go around. All of it ended up in a few households and everybody else was left with anxiety. So now what? How should I go about getting toilet paper? Could I go to a different store? Well, they were all sold out. Maybe somebody was going to return used rolls. Well, that seemed unlikely. Could I demand more from the factories? Well, they were just overwhelmed. There was nothing they could do. Could I call a friend or family member and ask for a roll? Well, that might work. So I reached out to a few friends nearby, but unfortunately they didn't have any toilet paper either. So we decided to finally introduce ourselves to the neighbors, but one of them had some toilet paper, but there wasn't enough to go around. Darn. So we decided to contact our friends and family from out of state. Within 24 hours, my brother Mike was able to find some toilet paper. So he mailed me a few rolls. But of course, so did my brother Mark and my brother Matt. So now I had a surplus of toilet paper, but I recalled that many of my neighbors needed toilet paper as well. So I gave my surplus to them and we all became super best friends in the process. Inspired by this, they reached out to their neighbors as well, and soon everybody was looking out for everybody else. Wow, that was pretty cool. We just participated in the sharing economy through grassroots community supply chain. Now, let's take this human kindness global. But how? Well, if you look at the news reports, there's a lot of scary stuff happening, but a lot of them really just boil down to supply chain failures. And we've just seen what we can do about those. So as we saw, you can't necessarily buy resources when there's a supply chain failure, but what if we just send unused resources directly to the demand? Now, of course, we're already trying to do that, but have you looked at the instructions? They're a little bit difficult to read. So let's make a website with a memorable name such as Contribute to Us. Sounds good. Next, let's make it super simple for recipients to indicate exactly what they need. Now that we have that, let's make it easy to reach out to friends and family via social media. Hooray, MVP complete, but let's make it better. Matching patrons directly to recipients can be problematic for a few reasons. First of all, recipients might not want to share their address, and the patrons might not know those recipients in the first place. So we can put a collection point between them, such as a school. The collection point can communicate the needs to multiple recipients and collect supplies from multiple patrons. This allows the patrons to contribute, even if they don't know the recipients personally, and it allows them to feel good and reduce their anxiety about the situation. So lots of things can serve as collection points, such as sports clubs, Cub Scouts, the list goes on. But let's look at the outsized impact of this project. At the most simplistic level, this thing is an innovation in infrastructure. But if you look at the impact of this thing, it really touches upon all of these different areas. So it's infrastructure that reduces inequalities. And in doing so, it's addressing poverty, it's addressing health, and so on. Now, there's a lot more I'd really like to tell you about this project. We've done a lot of thinking about this, but we don't have time. But I do just want to touch back to the hackathon challenges and just kind of point out that this idea really touches upon all of the challenges except improving intensive care, because we're getting supplies to high-risk populations, we're getting supplies to healthcare workers, we're emphasizing privacy and making sure that we're not exposing. Yep, I think you get the gist. So there we go. Questions?
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, judges, please. The last set of questions for today. Over to you.
Hi, Brian. I would like to raise one question. You're saying it's actually kind of people sharing the information what they got, how many toilet paper in your case, and trying to help to each other. Have you been thinking actually how could the distributors or let's say manufacturers, how could they actually understand where the demand is the biggest and to make better distribution of the product instead of relying on the people that they will be willing to share the products?
Yeah, so really what we're building is just a very loose framework that you can plug into through several different means. And kind of in phase one, what we're talking about is kind of like direct point-to-point communication. We have people that have a need, like individuals, and they have family members that could potentially supply that need. But as you expand this thing, you can actually have different interesting infrastructure in the middle. So for instance, you might have, if we're talking like post-coronavirus, you might have a scenario where you have like a charity that needs basketballs or something like that. And you want to just contribute to that charity. You don't necessarily need to mail a basketball, but you can have something plugged into the middle of this pipeline, such as Amazon or something like that, that you just give money to Amazon and you then donate the basketball on behalf. Did that answer your question, or did I kind of dodge around it?
No, I think I understand exactly what you're trying to say, and this is other one of the way. But you know how the humans are, if they already bought so many products, actually just because they're in a panic, they may not want to share. So that's one of the reason why I raised the question, how could we motivate them to sharing, or can we even go one step before to see how the distributors could actually to ensure that they deliver as many as required to the product, to the people who are really needed them.
Yeah, so the story I told at the beginning actually was a story that happened to my family personally. I wasn't the one in the toilet paper shortage, but my brothers were. And we actually established a network where we did send them toilet paper and everybody was more than willing to help. And similarly, I actually know some people that are in the front lines in New York, and we did the same thing in our social network as well, where he needed some disinfectant. He communicated with people in New York, that didn't work. The people in New York reached out to me. I reached out to some people in Ohio, and eventually we were able to actually then track down disinfectant and get it to the people in New York. So the fact is, people are actively trying to do this, and having infrastructure to better facilitate that would just enhance a process that is already happening.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brian. If I could ask you to stop sharing your screen.
I can try to, but I seem to have lost part of the UI. So give me a moment.
You'll find it at the top of your Zoom window if you can find that.
I see it.
Perfect. And just mute your microphone, switch off your video. That'd be wonderful.
All right.
All right. Well, we reached the the judges are going, and they're going to deliberate and cogitate for the next 30 minutes or so. And then we will be returning for the awards ceremony and closing. And that will be back on this exact channel. So make sure you come back to this this particular Zoom. And we'll be back in around 30 minutes with the judges' decisions and the winners. So thank you everyone so far, and we'll see you again real soon.
So let's meet here again at 3 o'clock, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right. See everyone there.
Hi guys, so this is Tom from HackingHealth. So before everyone's leaving their desk and make some coffee, well-deserved coffee, we would like to ask you to actually put all of your cameras on, because we would like to make some screenshots of the Zoom session for our content after the fact. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you're still there. Great. Thank you so much. Just the snipping tool. That is amazing. Okay. All right. Elise, if you can hear me, you can make screenshots too, because I think it's shuffled differently for every viewer, if I'm correct.
You can do fun poses as well if you want to.
Test.
You're absolutely allowed to make fun poses, please. I mean, the video is also going to be saved, so if you want to play some music and dance, I mean, I have nothing against that. All right, 1 more minute.
Don't play music on the YouTube, because it's on the YouTube and in mine.
Right. Yes, content ID. Forget what I just said.
Who is not wearing pants today? I am.
I mean, you turn your video on. I see you at the very top, but you're not there.
Awesome. All right.
And in the gap, do feel free to go and watch the Saturday Night Live sketch on Zoom calls. It was from last week's Saturday Night Live, and it's awesome.
Oh, you know what? I would love to watch Saturday Night Live, but we're not allowed in Germany. It's blocked.
Oh, I'm sure a VPN and YouTube will help you out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a couple. You're allowed to get your coffee now. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Ciao.
It sounds like the jury might need another 5 minutes or so, so I'm waiting to hear from them exactly when they think they'll be back, but just letting everyone know.
That's always
Thank
a
you.
good, that's always a good sign. That means they had a hard time choosing from all our great ideas.
Okay, they've told me it will be at 3:15 Berlin time. So you all have time to get another coffee or something.
No need to fight about it, no need to shout about it. I'm sick and tired too. We're spending hours searching for better ways of working. It's in me and you. So often taking your side, so often slacking your line, hoping that you would grow and get yourself together. But it was now or never, already long ago.
All right, everyone, I'm told 5 more minutes. I'm sorry. But seems to be a tough decision.
But which 5 minutes?
I think we're operating in like a different sort of time structure, understanding of time in the jury room.
Sounds sophisticated.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I don't think it ever gets that quiet in the room when everybody's waiting at a real hackathon, right?
I don't know. It does when you've stayed up all night to go to the presentations.
Also, when they keep telling us to mute our microphones and stop our videos.
Also, not sure how much dog barking in the background from my puppy everyone would enjoy at the hackathon either.
Plus, we were told no dance music, so now we're all just sitting around moping.
Dance music, huh?
Yeah, someone it was attempted and then
Okay.
Maybe we could all sing.
What are y'all
What kinds
managing?
of music are allowed, like jazz or something?
Start a rave.
You have a singing voice?
Careless whisper.
Yeah, I think we have to be careful because of copyright strikes.
Yeah, we don't want to get
they'll
demonetized.
turn off your
for
audio.
hackathon.
They'll say it belongs to someone else.
That could be any song.
So what are y'all simultaneously doing behind the camera as nobody's watching? I have some sourdough bread rising, and I'm also soaking some mushrooms for a mushroom soup.
I'm eating toast and drinking a cocoa cappuccino.
Any other confessions?
I'm making some bread.
Nice.
I'm currently at work and can't focus on my job.
Nothing interesting on my side, just catching up on social media.
I'm learning all the hotkeys for Zoom. Apparently, you can do spacebar to be like push to talk.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's actually really
right. I need to continue installing the rest of these video platforms.
My spacebar activates the camera.
Mine doesn't do
It
anything.
activates the last thing that you did, the last action.
Oh, is that what it does? Mine's like doing this unmuting thing that if I hold it and then let go, then hold, then hold.
Ja, okay, macht jetzt.
So schlafbar.
Dann bin ich gleich kurz weg. Ich fahre nach Hannover, wir drucken jetzt aus die Ladung. Und dann legen wir die Uhr ab. Und
Ja, aber den noch ein bisschen die Motion zu prüfen. Du siehst ganz schön schrecklich aus.
was?
Du siehst ganz schön gestresst aus.
Ja, ich brauche kein emotionales Support, ich brauche meine Sachen, die ich dann brauche.
Ja, du bist vorbereitet.
Ausdrucken.
Soll ich irgendwas für dich machen? Soll ich was machen?
Nein.
Sicher?
What happens when you don't make your camera? It's like a conversation.
What was that?
No, there's
How do
like
you
background.
upload your
Daniel's
picture?
phone.
Daniel has some
It's like
conversation.
insight into his personal conversation.
How do you upload your picture?
I have no idea. It was so long ago. I forget. I'm sorry.
There's all these things in Zoom that, you know, I used it years ago, and I still like there's things that are still kind of built into preferences that I haven't.
It's on the web. It's actually on the website, not in the actual the chat. Like the website when it opens in your profile on the website.
Okay, that's why.
Oh.
I'm not smiling right now though.
Okay.
No, I'm looking at the website, but I'm still not seeing like where the heck my preferences might be. Oh no.
I think you have to go into like where are you logged in there?
No idea.
If you click on like re-enter the meeting, then it gives you that window that's behind, like it gives you the first window of meetings, and I think you can navigate from there. I'm not sure though.
Okay, I guess I'll have to try that later.
I want to take this time to say sorry with the full mouth of toast, Anastasia. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Well, I'm glad, you know, I'm glad I could do something. It's kind of hard to tell whether I've been able to really help anyone. I tried to do my best.
You and Amy were the go-to.
Thank you.
Jerry says they're on the way now.
They don't have to walk very far.
No.
Okay, well, we are back. And as you can probably tell, long amount of time that it took. It was a very interesting discussion, and there were lots and lots of back and forth because you all produced such awesome solutions. It was incredibly difficult for our judges to choose the winners. However, we are here, we're back. We're almost ready to start announcing the winners. Just a housekeeping note first. If you are not speaking, as per before, please feel free to mute your microphone and switch off your video for now so that we can save some bandwidth. I'm pretty sure we'll all switch our videos on towards the end just so that we can get another lovely screenshot. So how we're going to do this, we are going to introduce one of the judges, and the judge is going to go ahead and say a little bit about the winner and announce them. And then if you hear yourself as a winner, we'd love to hear you and see you and celebrate with you. And then I will ask the next one and ask the next judge to come in and basically announce the next winner. And we'll do it all. We get to do this 5 times. So let's start off with Bart. Bart, could you come on and give us the title of the first winner?
Oh, okay, I need to put it on. Do you see me? Okay. So the first winner in the area of innovation is a group that wants to solve the matching available information that comes out of research with specific target groups, patients and researchers. We think it's a very necessary task. It would be very innovative if we would, or everybody would have access to tools that allow us to get better access to research. We know that the first papers on COVID risks were published in 2007 and they didn't manage to get to politicians. So solving this issue definitely creates value and is innovative, and that's why we are happy to reward them with the award for innovation. Congratulations. Is nobody listening, or is it?
Yeah.
Ah, there is. There's Daniela.
It does? Yay!
Oh, thank you. Who else from the team is online?
Thank you. Happy to hear.
Jan, you're up from Toronto.
Yes, I'm awake.
Good morning. This is amazing news.
It's great. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, yeah.
Favorita from Bern. So cool.
Nice, very international team. Very good to see.
Absolutely. It was an amazing team. And we can tell you that we are already setting up schedules for next week to meet and continue. So to us, we have won this hackathon anyway, because it was just such an amazing, perfect team. It was incredibly overwhelming. And to me and Sophie, it was the very first hackathon ever. I don't know, Prabita, you?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We keep in touch. I will forward you information and help you guys on your trajectory.
Lovely. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Lucas, I think, is next. And congratulations again to Daniela and the team. Lucas, over to you.
All right, all right. First of all, to make sure this is taped for eternity, let me express my thanks to all the teams, to all the mentors, to all the judges. I can't believe what happened the last 3 days. It's absolutely breathtaking. Congratulations as well to the health group. Great to see that the researcher from Bern is awarded with the Innovation Prize. Pravita, all the best and stay in touch. Now, my award goes to a team, a group of people trying to look after the people that are most affected by this crisis, that have to work, that go through difficult times. Let it be parents, let it be teachers, let it be healthcare workers, let it be suppliers. And there's a group of people around that provide help, that provide quick help. And as we discussed extensively in the jury, that need to provide better and better fitting help. And they're trying to do it with artificial intelligence. And for us, for the jury, for the judges, it's very important that you emphasize on that feature, because this will make a difference. And therefore, I'm very happy to award Mindcraft with the prize for the impact category. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is amazing. Do you see me? Because I had some problems with the camera. I mean, with innovation, and I'm not managing here Zoom. But Zoom is not my favorite. We have our own platform and trying to do it better. Do you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you guys. This is amazing. It has, I can only emphasize that it has been already, we have already went because it has been amazing. It was my first time to take place in a hackathon, but the members were just great. We feel very flattered, perhaps also because we have a broad network behind us, and we'll be happy and thrilled to learn about this. And we want to broadcast tomorrow, so this is really very important, and we hope to reach as many therapists. So if there is somebody already there who doesn't know yet about it, just reach out to us and let us not only innovate, but let us cope with this crisis, and let's make a cases for mental health support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
May I say my co-founder, my amazing co-founder, Julia Hosa.
Yeah, thanks to everybody. Actually, Eva was the driving force during the last 3 days to be online in the hackathon. And me and other programmers were on the background working on the platform. And as you rightly pose, a special focus will be on machine learning and AI, which is our next step. Right now, we are going live with this digital solution for the hotline, and really hoping and really positive to make an impact on a very needy target group. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Congratulations. That's awesome news. So next award, the award for Dish. Are you with us, Dinesh? We need you to unmute.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly. Sorry. Yes. So also from my side, thanks a lot for the whole team, for the whole contribution. And we have a very good discussion about each team and all the topics. But there can be only one winner. So and the jury was solidly, completely convinced of the simplicity of the solution for the user, in this case, the heroes of the pandemic that we are experiencing. And these are the employees in hospitals and to cover the needs and well-being. So the award is going to MyCare for Implicated.
Wow, thank you. This is my very first hackathon, and I'm so excited, so grateful for the opportunity to have the idea at least put out there for people to give feedback on. It was wonderful speaking to all the mentors, and my teammates was amazing with all the research and information. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be in this and to win. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. We're so happy and grateful. And it was just like a journey. I just like stumbled into this and met Karen, and she was so amazing. She put so much creativeness and so much work into that. I'm really happy, and yeah, thank you so much for everyone.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome. And now to reveal the award winner for feasibility, Sanadin.
Hi guys. I mean, also from my point of view, I have to say it was a great event. It was a great experience for myself, and actually everybody won here because the society is winning because we are creating so many solutions and bringing so many things into the life that will help every individuals on this planet. So really great to see that, great to see the entire work as well as the really effort and the way how we really contribute to that together. However, when it comes to the awards, obviously you need to nominate someone, someone needs to be prized, and we have been really discussing a lot. I can tell you this was not an easy decisions in any category, so we have been discussing a lot and sharing a lot of information about your projects. So from that point of view, you can really count yourself as already a winner. However, when it comes to the feasibility and to name the name, we have been thinking, how could we ensure that one of the solutions could really make a difference, an impactful difference on the global scale, and it's really feasible to be implemented everywhere. And we came to the conclusion that we would like to award the group Contribute to Us. Guys, you're really thinking, in the areas where obviously products need to be somewhat distributed properly to the where it's required, and we really liked a lot your idea, and that's the reason why we selected you. So congratulations, Contribute to Us. Well done.
Cool. Thank you very much, and this is definitely a surprise. I think I actually have to thank Joy quite a bit because I was actually I didn't have a lot of bandwidth for this, and I was planning to drop out of the hackathon right in the very beginning, but she convinced me to go ahead and stay in and pitch my idea. So I'm glad that people thought it was feasible, and it'll be interesting to see what we can do with it going forward. So thank you all very much.
And thank you very much for waking up so early and coming to the stage. Yeah.
I didn't wake up. I'm up from yesterday.
Great. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And last but not least, could I hand over to Katarina to give us a final award today?
Oh, last award to give to you guys. First of all, the Hacking Health team would like to thank everyone. We had a fantastic time. I hope you had a great Easter. The last award will be for the best executed solution. And there was one solution that really stood out for all of the jury members, which is an app that's coming from New York. And it's an app that tracks symptoms on a heat map. And we think it was really well done. Also, your presentation, guys, it goes to Team Clear. Is the team Captain Harmony here?
Whoa, I am so overwhelmed.
Congratulations.
Thank you
We
so
think you've done
much.
a fantastic job.
I'm a little emotional because I haven't slept very much, but this definitely would not have been possible without all the amazing, talented people on this team. Yeah, I mean, do you guys just all want to say your names and what you did for part of it? Oh my God.
Wow, great.
This is
Show
so
us the
great.
faces, guys.
This is
Every one of you is like so talented and knowledgeable about what you do, and I just feel like the brainstorming sessions were unbelievable and the mentorship was unbelievable, and I'm like still freaking out about this.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to everyone. Yeah, thank you for this award. It's so good.
Thank you, Harmony, for the idea. That was great, and how you managed was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, it
Yeah, thank
honestly
you,
was
Harmony.
not possible without any of you. So
This was a great weekend.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, congratulations.
This one was phenomenal.
It's fantastic to see all of you. Just as was said before, you're all winners. You've all done an incredible job. But congratulations to those people that the jurors picked out of the bunch. You've all done incredible work. What I'd like to do is hand over to Yosha to maybe give some words.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also from our side, from Hacking Health side, congratulations to all the winners, but also all the other teams that worked really hard this weekend. We really appreciate all your time, taking your time over Easter, joining us for a common sense and for a common purpose. And I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as we did. I just want to say two things and one organizational thing, or three things. One organizational thing is we have a little questionnaire prepared. We will send it around. If you fill out this questionnaire, we are super happy. We just decided that to send you over a t-shirt that we will create for this hackathon as a small gift. So please fill out the questionnaire, and we'll be happy to send you a nice shirt. You will see it there on the questionnaire as well. That's the first thing to say. Second thing is, again, I want to thank all our partners, our sponsors, Charité, Bern, Paul Hartmann, and also Vision Health Pioneers. I just want to say two things to Vision Health Pioneers, which is basically an own thing from me. So I founded together with Marianne Lesche, who is here in the call as well, and who was a mentor as well. We founded the Vision Health Pioneers Incubator. We are a very early stage incubator exactly for teams like you that I just want to emphasize every one of you to keep working on these solutions, because they are great. If you're interested in joining us, we will soon open up our call for our next batch in December. So just get in contact with me. I'll share all the details with you. Would be great to have some of the teams here in our batch. We currently have another team from the old hackathon that we did before in our batch. So I'm very happy to do that. And the last thing that I wanted to say, I already said that in our last hackathon. Please keep in mind, we now do that for the purpose of this current crisis that we are in, but please don't let us not forget the people who are in a crisis on a daily basis without COVID-19. So there are a lot of people in similar situations who are abundant, who are homeless. They can all use these solutions that we built here as well. So please also think of how you can maybe support these people with the solutions that you built here, and how we can keep innovating in healthcare, and how we can keep working on the projects that we are in. So please, if you're interested in working on your solutions, get in touch with us. We'll be happy to support you. And thank you very much for all the participants, all the mentors, and of course all the sponsors and cooperation partners. Without all of you, it wouldn't be able to do hackathons like this and events like this. So thank you very much for everything. I think I'm done. Kati, do you want to say something as well?
If I might just add from my point of view, thank you for inviting me to host the last part of this. It's the easiest thing to do in the world. I don't have to be here for the whole 48 hours, so thank you for making my life easy. But Joscha, Katarina, and of course Elena from Data Natives, who asked me to get involved in this again. It's always a pleasure to be involved in this because all of these hackathons and all of you wonderful people are inspiring to me every single day. So thank you so much for having me again, and thank you everyone for all the hard work and effort you put in.
Thank you for the moderation. All right, then you have a great day today. Enjoy, and yeah, let's keep it together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
It was
Well
wonderful.
done. Thank you.
Are you doing a group call at the end or a group photo?
Oh yeah. So hold on 1 second. Yes, everybody. Sorry, I forgot it. No, damn it. That's the most important thing in the hackathon. Let everybody turn on their cameras. Now everybody smiles and say. There you go. Perfect. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one. Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Das ist ganz gegangen, wunderbar.